We all know El Chapo, the notorious drug lord who has escaped from prison twice. But what happened when he was behind bars for the third time? Ready to see the kind of power El Chapo holds, even when locked up? We'll be discussing the shocking details of when El Chapo threatened the guards to get privilege and luxury in jail. With a reputation for escaping from prisons before, his latest outburst has everyone on high alert. We'll be taking a closer look at what exactly El Chapo did in prison and the potential consequences of his actions. If you're interested in true crime stories and want to learn about the latest moves of one of the most notorious criminals in modern history, then you definitely don't want to miss out on this video. Stay tuned to the end to find out the surprising turn of events that followed El Chapo's threats. The notorious Mexican drug lord El Chapo is a name that instills fear and derives attention. Despite his life sentence, his influence continues to echo, leaving a lasting impact. While he may be behind bars, his sons are still running the family business, and they know how to get the desired results. Sometimes they deal with the on-duty prison guards to help El Chapo enjoy a more luxurious life. But even if such efforts fail, El Chapo still has access to a huge amount of wealth spread across different states that can be used to get additional privileges while behind bars. El Chapo's ability to manipulate the guards is nothing short of astonishing. He knows that even the most secure prison system can be compromised through its weakest link. In some cases, he's been known to offer bribes to prison guards, allowing him to escape. But El Chapo doesn't stop there. He understands the power of fear and has no qualms about threatening the lives of those who refuse to follow his commands. His sons are more than willing to carry out his orders, and they've proven that they can be just as ruthless as their father. But it's not just the guards that El Chapo has under his thumb. The other inmates are also subject to his influence. The worst of the worst convicts are often eager to make deals with El Chapo in exchange for their freedom, and he's more than happy to oblige. In prison, it's all about power, and El Chapo has enough of it to go around. He can assert control over additional guards and intimidate them into submission. And if all else fails, he's not above threatening to harm their families to get what he wants. El Chapo's discontent with his current living conditions at the Supermax prison is no secret, considering he once oversaw a prison in Mexico himself. The prison system's inadequacy was exposed when he managed to escape twice, revealing the ruthlessness of the laws in place. The prison failed to contain its most notorious inmates, and the prisoners and staff ran the institution instead of the administration. Money seems to be the only driving force behind the jail's operations, according to officials. The power dynamics within the prison were striking. With money, one could bend the rules and have access to anything they desired, including phones, prostitutes, and protection from violence. It seems that money was the key to unlocking any door in the prison, especially since the monthly salary of prison guards was under $1,000. As a result, many of them turned to the black market inside the prison to get some extra income. However, this also made them vulnerable to pressure from traffickers and gang leaders, who could easily threaten them and their families outside of the prison walls using their henchmen. Guards who were suspected of aiding a particular gang were relentlessly hunted down by their rivals, which meant that the guards had to be extra careful in their dealings or risk putting their families in danger. Being a guard at a Mexican Supermax prison is far from peaceful. However, the situation is somewhat different in the United States. Nevertheless, the inner workings of prisons are notoriously hard to discern. It's entirely possible that El Chapo has bribed some of the guards, but that's just speculation. If you're inclined to believe in conspiracy theories, then it's worth noting that the man you think is El Chapo serving a life sentence at ADX Florence may not be the genuine article. It's certainly food for thought. Prior to his media exposure, El Chapo had never been captured in a photograph. This leads to the possibility that he may have hired someone else to impersonate him. However, such an idea seems far-fetched. Additionally, any attempts by El Chapo to intimidate or harm prison guards and their loved ones would undoubtedly result in grave consequences in the highly secured U.S. prisons. which often remain shrouded in secrecy from the outside world. The salary of prison guards in Mexico's state-run facilities at that time was as low as 6,000 pesos per month, equivalent to about $400. The federal guards at high-security prisons such as Altiplano earned between 12,000 and 15,000 pesos per year, or around $800. Such meager salaries made corruption inevitable, leading many officers to accept bribes. Additionally, the gang's lack of fear in pursuing guards' families also contributed to this situation. Despite the increased security measures at ADX Florence, rumors suggest that El Chapo may still be able to influence some of the guards. Some believe that he's using his vast fortune to bribe those who hold the keys to his cell. It's no secret that many prison guards in Mexico are grossly underpaid, making bribery a very likely scenario. And with the gangs and cartels having no qualms about hunting down the families of those who cross them, it's no wonder that some officers have turned to corruption to make ends meet. A former U.S. official, who served as a consultant to the Justice Department and Homeland Security, revealed in a 60-minute documentary that El Chapo attempted to use his shady tactics to escape prison again. The official shared that El Chapo made a chilling offer, promising to make his captors wealthier beyond their wildest dreams if they released him. However, he resorted to a horrifying threat when his proposal was declined. The official stated that El Chapo threatened to not only kill the officials, but also rape and murder their wives and daughters and torture their sons. El Chapo's known to be a ruthless and cunning gangster, and it's likely that he's still using these tactics to try and get some freedom within the prison. Despite his claims of mistreatment, El Chapo's been described as a master manipulator who's been able to control entire prisons and their staff from behind bars. It's important to note that the staff at ADX Florence are highly trained professionals who take their jobs seriously. They are well aware of the danger that El Chapo poses and are likely taking extra precautions to ensure that he remains in his cell. However, with El Chapo's vast resources and history of using bribery and intimidation to get what he wants, it's impossible to rule out the possibility that he may be able to find a way to influence some of the guards. The story of El Chapo and his imprisonment at ADX Florence is one that is rife with intrigue and danger. The world is watching to see whether he'll be able to escape once again, or if he'll be locked up for good this time. While the staff at ADX Florence are doing everything in their power to keep him confined, the influence and resources of El Chapo cannot be underestimated. Do you think El Chapo will be able to bribe the guards in ADX Florence? Will he be able to find a way out of his cell and back into the criminal underworld that he once ruled with an iron fist? Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully, you found it informative and interesting. As you've learned, the world of prisons and crime is a complex and murky one, with plenty of surprising twists and turns. From El Chapo's daring prison escapes to the corruption and bribery that pervades many jail systems, there's no shortage of stories to explore. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And if you have any thoughts or comments on what we've discussed, we'd love to hear them. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world around us.